This portion of the video will give you additional information to help introduce you to some of the topics your local Right at Home office will discuss in more detail. It will also provide you with some best practices and tips that will help you be successful in your role. Please talk to your supervisor if you have any questions about concepts you hear in this video. Because you will be working with adults who depend on your assistance to accomplish their everyday activities, being on time for an assigned shift is very important. When you are offered a shift, you have the opportunity to accept it. When you accept the shift, you are making a commitment to your employer. More importantly, you are making a commitment to your client. Therefore, your supervisor will likely impress upon you how critical it is that you are at the client's home, ready to work on time. It is important to commit to staying for the entire shift, unless directed otherwise by the office. It's possible that you may be asked to work additional hours. Your supervisor will explain how additional hours or overtime must be approved and set up by the office, not the client. Your employer understands that occasionally something might happen that makes it impossible for you to work an assigned shift. In these instances, your local office will likely require advance notice, and the amount of notice will depend on the type of the assignment. Please check with your supervisor for more information. When you call the office to cancel, you must follow the local office's policies. This may include speaking directly to a member of the office staff. For example, if you leave a voicemail or message with an answering service and the cancellation is not confirmed, it's likely that the office you work for will not consider this a canceled shift until you hear back from a staff member. A staff member is on call 24 hours a day for these kinds of emergencies. Unlike most other jobs, an individual client is depending on you for basic care. If you can't provide it, it's important to give the office enough time to find a replacement before the shift starts. Not showing up for an assignment, frequently canceling shifts, or canceling without enough notice all present challenges for the office you work for to schedule shifts. Failing to show up and give proper notice could ultimately impact the clients you work with if the shift is not able to be covered. These actions can result in fewer shifts being offered or loss of employment. It is important to check with your local office on its policy regarding no-shows, call-offs, or canceling with short notice. It is also important that you track your time and activities appropriately. You may be asked to clock in and out by submitting traditional time cards or by reporting your time via web portal, mobile app, or telephony. Many offices use telephony, an automated time and attendance technology which minimizes or eliminates the need to use a time card. You clock in and clock out by calling a toll-free number from your client's phone. There are many benefits of using telephony. For example, the office is notified when you clock in and clock out, which assures you that you receive credit for all the time you've worked. It is also helpful to clients who are physically unable to sign a time card. The instructions are simple. Your office will supply you with a specific toll-free number. When you arrive at a client's home, simply dial that number to clock in. You must listen to the voice prompts and respond accordingly. If your office is using the task feature, continue to listen to find out if you have any tasks that must be performed that day and follow the voice prompts for further instructions. When you have completed your shift and it is time to clock out and update tasks, dial the same toll-free number. Then, just as you did to clock in, listen to the voice prompts and follow instructions. You will need to respond to the prompts to update tasks, leave a general comment, record mileage, or answer any additional questions. Once you have completed all the prompts, you will be able to clock out. Do not hang up until the system tells you that you are clocked out. If telephony is used by the office you work for, they will provide more training. If you have any questions related to this process, please ask your supervisor. If the Right at Home office you work for doesn't use telephony for certain clients, your local office will review your specific procedures for submitting paper time cards in more detail or specify alternative procedures to clocking in or out. It is important that you follow these procedures exactly. Doing so ensures that you are paid on time and accurately. Confidentiality is a primary concern. When working with a client, you will learn a lot of confidential information, including the details of their health. You are not allowed to share this information with anyone except the Right at Home office. That includes your family and friends. Sharing client information with anyone else is a violation of the client's legal right to privacy, and in many cases may violate state or local privacy laws and the federal law known as HIPAA. When someone asks about your client, refer them to the Right at Home office. You are a representative of the Right at Home brand. The way you perform your job and treat your clients and their family is how they determine their satisfaction with the Right at Home brand and with you. Your employer, the local Right at Home office, expects you to conduct yourself with a positive attitude and with respect toward your clients and their families. While you are working, your supervisor may discuss how your complete focus must be on the client. For this reason, he or she will probably share with you that the use of the internet, text messaging, cell phones, tablets, or the client's phone is not allowed unless there is an emergency. Time spent on personal calls and devices while with a client takes away from your ability to provide the best possible care. Your office may have a policy that any client complaints about these issues will be taken very seriously and could result in disciplinary action. Each Right at Home office holds itself and its employees to the highest standards of lawful and ethical conduct. Therefore, your supervisor will probably tell you that it is important to be very careful that your relationship with clients, client family members, or vendors are honest and ethical. This may include refraining from any activity that could be in conflict with your status as an employee of a local Right at Home office. This could also include the use of your position with a local Right at Home office for personal profit or advantage, or entering into transactions or relationships where it may appear you have a conflict of interest, improperly benefiting from your status as a caregiver, or becoming directly employed by the client. If you question something you consider to be a conflict of interest, let your supervisor or someone from the local Right at Home office know. A neat personal appearance and good grooming habits show respect for yourself and for your client. Your local Right at Home office expects you to wear appropriate clothing, be neat and clean, and have a professional image at all times. A good practice is to wear rubber-soled shoes while working. They provide the best traction. If you have any questions about what is appropriate and your employer's dress code policies, ask your supervisor. Remember, clients may be conservative and traditional, and it's very important that they feel comfortable around you. You may be asked to always wear the name tag or identification badge issued to you when you go to a client's home. This badge identifies you to the client and anyone else that you are an authorized visitor. Your supervisor will discuss any additional dress code requirements with you. As much as you want to be friendly with clients, a best practice is to be careful never to cross the line between a professional and a personal relationship. For example, your supervisor may talk to you about the fact that family and friends should not stop by and visit during work hours, as it is not professional, and it may be in violation of the federal HIPAA laws or state or local privacy laws. Another example is that you should only be at the client's home when you are scheduled to work. Most Right at Home offices have a policy that prohibits caregivers from accepting gifts or gratuities. Many local offices follow this best practice because clients can be vulnerable adults, and there can be the appearance that they are being persuaded or pressured into giving you a gift. To some people, this can be viewed as a type of elder abuse. Of course, you don't ever want a client to think you're being rude by not accepting a gift, so if a client or family member wants to give you a gift, a best practice is to politely tell them that they must discuss this with the local Right at Home office. It is important to talk to your local Right at Home office regarding rules about the use of drugs, alcohol, and tobacco during your shift. Your employer's policy may state something like this: all employees must report to work and remain completely free of illegal drugs, non-prescribed prescription drugs, and alcohol. Some of the facilities your employer partners with may require pre-employment and/or random drug testing in accordance with applicable law only. The Right at Home office you work for is committed to and understands the value of a diverse workforce. Equal employment opportunities are available for all qualified persons. It will administer all aspects and conditions of employment without regard to race, color, age, sex, religion, physical or mental disability, pregnancy or pregnancy-related conditions, national origin, ethnic background, military service, genetic information, or any other protected classification in accordance with federal, state, or local law. Each Right at Home office expects its employees to work in an environment free from intimidation and harassment. Finally, Right at Home offices have strict policies prohibiting any type of abuse. Verbal, physical, or financial abuse of clients will be reported to the proper authorities. If you witness any type of abuse, even by a family member, notify your local office immediately. Earning and maintaining your client's trust is an essential element of the job. That's why it's vital to always conduct yourself in a professional, reliable manner.